I picked up this incredibly rusty Chevy K10 Sport from Kevin over at Junkyard Digs.
Oh, she's smoking out the back.
After a couple of days of work in Kevin's field, we had the truck running and driving for the first time in a couple of decades. Then after using the truck to completely destroy their yard, garden, and all associated shrubbery, I hauled it home to my place, where the real work could begin. We have to put this on my trailer. It's stuck at like 3,000 RPM. And my trailer is very ramp shaped, so it might be kind of fun. But
I don't know how this could go wrong. He's lined up for the jump. Evel Knievel's gonna try to clear the long box. Can he? Oh, he gave up. You good? Oh no! Ah! Holy sh**. It ends right where it started. The hardest thing about this is your park has turned into reverse, which now I understand why that just happened.
Yeah.
There was no parking pole to depend on. A couple things for context here is, like we just said, park is reversed, and the carburetor for whatever reason just holds like $3 grand exclusively.
There she is, ready to head back to Kansas City. Even installed the pickup topper.
Just a couple of square bodies heading down the highway.
Let's see if we can get this sucker off the trailer. I'm thinking I might work on that carburetor a little bit before we actually go through with that. Got the quadra junk off of there. This stupid adapter plate on here that I really kind of hate. But you know what? It's a product of necessity. Plop our street demon on, and there we go. Look at that. That's a performance engine now, boy. Carb's installed, everything's hooked up. Let's see if the old truck will fire up for us as good as it did before.
It has brakes now. What the hell? This thing's practically already restored. It's pretty hard to kill one of these things.
What are you complaining about now?
I'm soaked in water. It's 32 degrees out.
Shut up. Anyway, the shop floor's clean. Welcome to your new home for a while. Now that we got it in here, we can really walk around and show you the beauty that is the 76 Chevy Stepside K10 Sport truck. She's got a set of these aftermarket wagon wheels. They're aluminum. Those are really cool. Got to clean those up. Obviously, the wheels are the only thing we should be concerned about. None of the Swiss cheese on it. That door doesn't open. Rear fenders are bad. The tailgate's bad. That bedside's pretty bad. That bedside's okay. This fender is the bad side, if there is one. The steps are bad.
The floor's
the floors are gone. It's got the walk-through cab. Oh, wait, what? Is that a Silver Dollar? It is.
Huh.
I'll be damned.
Thank you. That's my pay for the day.
Hey, yeah, the dash isn't bad. The seat really isn't too bad either. Yeah, the fenders are bad. And the doors are bad. The hood, okay-ish. Possibly salvageable. I mean, a little bit here. Throw a bug shield over it. It's fine. The grill's bad. What do you guys think about Silver Dollar Chevy? You like that? No kidding. Another Silver Dollar? Yeah, she's Silver Dollar Chevy, all right. And car wash tokens. I don't think they use that very much.
You can have this.
I'm good.
It's covered in rat shit.
And the internet has already declared that this truck is unrestorable, so of course I'm going to restore it. I need to remove the snowplow mount right here and all the associated wiring because Kevin needs that back. How does this thing come off? What I like to do when I don't know how something comes apart is pretty much just start removing things until it falls apart, and or components that I didn't necessarily want to fall apart. I really have made this impossible to get to. What in the meth is going on here? Man, it's a big old chunk of metal, man. Test out my deadlift abilities. Oh my God! There we go. Yeah. Car and driver oil filter. I've never even heard of that. Ew. It's blacker than my soul. Good stuff. Liquid gold. Undo our fuel system here so I can try to get this door open. Hi. Ew. Oh. On a rat nest? It sure looks like a white door panel, doesn't it? Nope, it's red. Oh, yeah, somewhere in here. Easy now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you open a door. Now, if you find any gold ingots in there, don't touch them. They could be dangerous.
Okay.
Give them right to me.
Don't spill it.
There's a lot of poop in here.
Oh my.
Pretty sure that's a turd.
It's like a rock.
It's a turd.
That's not a turd.
Okay. Good thing is there's no floor over here, so it'll just fall right out.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Easy. I guess I'll dig in.
Satisfying.
There's 2 floor pans right there. The cap brace is still here on this side.
That's good. Same over here.
It's a good thing you can just walk into the cab, though.
Yeah.
It really makes it easier. This is like average man restoration. You know, if you're like a super duper perfectionist who wants me to spend like 5 years trying to make this truck immaculate, well, you're in the wrong spot. I just happened to find a brand new rotor and what I suspect is a set of pre-organized small block Chevy spark plugs. I think they are. I don't know, the cap's not quite as bad as I thought it was, but it is definitely worn. That rotor is definitely worn. It's not even. Why do I have all this crap? Because I'm a hoarder. And that's what I do. This is the cap and coil out of the truck. It's got like a brand new coil in it. We're gonna remove this other one I had laying around. And there we go. One brand new cap. That combined with the new spark plugs that Kevin tossed in it with me. Got our new cap on. It's installed, ready to go. Grab my keys. I think it's out of gas. Yeah, I think I ran it dry. Next job's going to be rip this shifter off and the rods and install our new shifter and rods. I'm not totally sure just how wise it is to be removing clearly the only solid part of the entire floor. JD's cleaning up the new old shifter here. The old shifter out, and she is rusted solid. This one rod right here just doesn't want to come out, so I got it chilling some penetrating lube. But look what I noticed. Modulator valve and the bracket for it is rotted off of the transmission. Look there. Look at that. The aluminum, oh, it's gone. The aluminum has corroded away. So I simply added 4 zip ties around the dipstick tube to hold the modulator in place. This is standard procedure.
Yeah.
The whole truck is just like a deadly obstacle course of tetanus. We just bolted the sucker in here and it seems to work. It's kind of sloppy, but it moves freely and it seems like it works. Gonna top fluids off. We gotta put the seat back in it. Once we get her fired up, we'll check the tranny fluid. I say we go try to drive this sucker. So we're gonna go ahead and fix the floors so it's safe to drive.
Empty.
Hell of a transmission leak. I can't believe that's transmission fluid. That is probably the worst transmission fluid I've ever seen in a vehicle that moves.
Got a locked up wheel. It only goes backwards. Why?
Why does it only go backwards now? I'm going to try to drive this around in reverse a bunch and see if something in the valve body's just stuck, maybe. The only thing I can figure is that transmission just decided to die. So that means the farm truck is getting pieced out sooner than later. Probably see me ripping this truck apart to pull the transmission out of. Everybody say hello and goodbye to my farm truck. Biggest problem with this truck is the frame is rotted out on it. Well, that's kind of a problem. What she does have is a few key parts we need. It's got a steering column that works, and a transmission with a sheared off parking pole, but functional. Cal screen is broken on the black truck, and this one is nearly perfect, actually. And it's all this little nickel and dime stuff like this. It's really going to make a difference. You know, yeah, you know. And that's pretty much how you remove a hood off of a Squarebody. What the fuck? Just had to turn into the human impact wrench there for a second. And that's how you remove a Squarebody bumper. These here are the bumper brackets we're after. The idea here is to save as much money as we can, because obviously we got a lot of work to do. Here's one of those practically brand new headlight harness. I don't know how that survived. Oh my god! Look at all the hardware I've salvaged out of this thing so far. That's going to be invaluable when putting the other truck together. Oh! Got the fan shroud out, but, well, it's not quite as good as I hoped it was. You pull on that hard enough, it'll probably come out. And separate the rag joint for him. We'll just pull real hard whenever he gets it undone. Like that. Woo! Complete column shift linkage for the black truck if we need it. I think we might, actually. Ta-da! Aha!
Oh.
Stretch and 1 and 2 and 3, girls. Zippity-doo-dah. Trade me camera and impact, and you zip off those two.
Okay.
The peeing has begun. No. Got it. I'm gonna say that transmission mount might have been bad. Steve. Oh! Hey, I think it fell off the jack.
Really? So close.
And here comes the pee. Tear into this transmission and try to fix the parking pole in it, which is all that is wrong with it, and that I'm aware of. Zippity zip zip zip. Oh, there's the converter. Uh-oh. Last thing I really want to grab out of here, the seat. Not because it's in particularly good condition, but the bottom cushion isn't bad. It's kind of tore up in the red or in the black truck. So we might be able to use some foam out of this to repair that one. Oh, a machete. You didn't see anything. All right. I got to get to that parking pole, which means I got to take the pan off of that, which means I got to drain that thing. Well, bucket not strong. How bad did bucket break? Oh, reveal your secrets to me, transmission. Ugh. This is a bad sign. I don't know what that is. What is this stuff? So I can see that the parking pole is definitely waste. Thing is, to pull that parking pole, you gotta disassemble the whole damn thing. I got a transmission lined up. I don't need to do this. Okay, I've got my trusty bucket of doom here, and I'm gonna just zip this pan off. Let's see what lies inside. What secrets are you hiding? Oh, it's not supposed to look like that. Oh, there it went. That's not what you really want your transmission fluid to look like. Oh, dude. We're just going to be removing drive shafts. I will be separating the transfer case under the truck and use a transmission jack so it's a little bit easier, less deadly. It actually feels like the U-joints are okay in it, so I'll probably leave them alone. Throw a little grease at them, maybe. Got both drive shafts out, inspection cover off, speedo cable, shift linkage, a bunch of little stuff. One of the transmission lines broke in half. That's nice. We'll see what I can force Jay into doing tomorrow, but I'll see you at LMC Truck tomorrow morning, where we're going to be picking up a lot of stuff for the Stepside, the Silver Dollar Chevy. I think you guys are going to be kind of excited. I know I am. Let's see what we come up with here. But there's basically everything we need here to fix the cab, but we got to go to their other warehouse to pick up the rest of the stuff. There's floors, rockers, steps, cab corners, cab braces, cab mounts, mounting kits, hardware kits, everything. They have 2 warehouses like this around Kansas City. I mean, literally everything you could need. We got pretty much most of a Squarebody Chevy pickup in my Squarebody Chevy pickup. Hey, cheese.
I'm saying cheese.
So this is Jay from Irish Outlaw Garage on YouTube. You can go find him. And he brought a special delivery, Turbo 350 trans. It's even gift wrap. And I'm forcing him to help me pull this out of the truck. What a guy. Why are you pulling my floor out?
Well, because
in my way.
You know, I'm grateful for the walk-through cab, actually. It's a favorite of mine. Makes everything easier when you can just step right on in. The goo is coming. We got chunks falling. Ugh.
Junk. But it's clean.
It is very clean. You can see right through it. I'm not asking anymore, so let's just delete these. Man, you know, the sun visors in this look pretty good from down here.
Get off there. Well, I got it halfway off.
There's a transfer case. He's coming.
Not coming. Yes. I got Chevy in my eyes.
Hey, watch your eyes. I gotta take the transmission lines off. Oh.
There. Boom.
Hey, that is a crusty Turbo 350. Looks new to me. See all that grime? I don't. It's gone. A brand new unit there.
These are the type of little things that make me want to throw stuff.
No, we're not throwing things. Gotta fill this torque converter. Oh, good. Look, bloodbath already. How? Why?
Oh, you got it in there before the mess.
Oh, God. What the hell?
Definitely got a torque converter.
Okay, yeah. Hey, that's perfect. That's not bad. Wrestling this under here without dumping the torque converter. Oh,
We're close. There it
There
is.
she is.
I'm on.
Right, I'm on. Now we get to do the hard part, right? Just pick up this leaky, greasy son of a... Oh, good thing someone painted it. Idiot.
You got all the bolts we need, right?
No.
Ooh,
It's a lot of wobbly.
that's a whole lot of wobbly.
Might be a little out of the capacity of this.
Oh, don't fall on our head, please.
Our angle of the dangle is all wrong here.
Oh yeah, it's definitely wrong.
We need to rotate the whole thing. Here, can I do that with this? Oh.
Oh. I think that I can push down on this side and you can get a bolt in it. That way we ain't putting any more stress on that.
Harbor Freight strap. Look. Look at that jack.
I'm in a hurry, man. I don't trust this jack no more. Look at that thing.
Oh my God.
That's all it's got.
God, we're a couple of... We should never work together ever again.
On there. These Harbor Freight cheapies.
You buy that green strap, you're set. That thing ain't never gonna break. You're restoring it. Wow.
Say we get those, finger tight, and then we can jack it up.
If we get out of this without anybody dying, I mean, this will be a plus. Yeah. Cross members in, everything's bolted in. Well, except for a few little things that I gotta wrap up. But no big deal. No way in hell I could have done it without you here. I probably would have died. What I'm gonna dive right into next is putting the transmission lines on. I think we'll just use the ones from the farm truck. But I think while it's in the air, I want to do brakes and stuff, so we're probably not driving the truck right away. Anyway, we gotta do that. We gotta fill the transfer case too, because it spilled gallons of it all over my floor. Take some brake clean and flush them.
Okay.
Because that's what, when you do put a new transmission in, you're supposed to like clean stuff. Yeah, I know. Also, this thing will need clean too.
Okay, I can do that.
The trans cooler. Take those off, spray some brake clean through it. Ugh, oh. Oh. Get started on brakes. Transmission works.
It goes forward and backwards. It's amazing.
Let's make sure it doesn't puke after shutting it off. I do think we got a little bit of something leaking.
Yeah, I thought I saw something.
Never mind. It's just where I spilled it.
Oh yeah.
It's where I overfilled it. Look at the frame rail. I was like, what? How did that happen? Now it's time to dive into brakes. And I'm going to start with something easy so I don't lose my mind right away. And that's going to be, let's change out the front calipers and brake hoses. Giving it a shakedown while I'm here. It's got some slop in it, but it doesn't seem to be the tie rods actually. It seems to be the stabilizer shock that's on that drag link. See that shock looking thing, bud? See how much it's moving? It ain't got no give to it. That thing's wasted. We might get lucky there. And likewise with the rotors. These have been replaced. They're pretty new. They're not all gouged. Very little ridge. I'm gonna rebuild the spindle too. You know, sometimes those are known to wear out. There we go. I got the absolute cheapest brake pads I could buy. These are just metallic. They're not even semi-metallic. They don't even claim to be nice. They just say, yep, we're garbage. Like that. That tighten down, and then we'll start dealing with the brake line. We can put our new Sunsol brake hoses on. Fill it full of rust so it works real good. Look at this. This is the, I don't know, drag link or something like that. Anyway, that's instantaneous death you're looking at right here. Everything else seems pretty solid in the front end, but that'll kill you. I'm gonna throw that in my shopping cart on Rock Auto right now. We'll change that out before we try to drive this thing any kind of distance. Rebuilding. So the fronts are as good as done. We got to throw a master cylinder on it, and obviously do the rears where we're missing some stuff. Yep. Now that line broke. It's pretty damn rusty. Let's see what we can do with the rest of the lines, just so I can kind of get an idea of what I need to do. Oh my God, have you seen the shock over here?
Oh. Yeah, that's really bad.
That's pretty good. And broken. Oh, broken there. Well, shoot. It's already spliced here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this rubber brake hose off. I'm gonna have to buy some 1/4-inch brake line to do that one with, or the front to rear. We'll just splice in a piece of 1/4-inch into that, but I don't have any of that. But I do have 3/16 line, so I can go ahead and make these. A little crusty. Actually going to leave this together so I have something to go off of to put the other side back together. I just wanted to make sure I could actually get this drum off. Change out the master cylinder, I guess. You know, I'm really worried about the brake fluid dripping onto the truck and possibly rusting it, you know. Hell, that doesn't even look bad. Looks like new.
Yeah.
Spraying good?
Yeah, it's spraying like to the roof.
Well, I picked up some of the stuff we need. Then we will thread on a new piece so we can put our new one on like this. Using a couple of these cheap tube nuts, we can safely make a union fitting. Never want to use compression fittings on a brake line. That's a bad idea. When I put wheel cylinders in, is start the brake line first. That's because they're a real bear to try to get lined up. There's a brake. Kind of hodgepodge together out of a few different brakes, but it's a brake indeed. Now, hopefully I bought the right drum, and I'm almost certain that I didn't. It's pretty good, and it looks like I did buy the right drum. Alright, we got our brake lines put on. Kinda ugly. Kinda don't care. Hey, we're ready to just bleed them and be done with it. We're gonna bleed some brakes that we finished up last time. We're gonna put some shocks on it, do some front end work, and maybe even put a new gas tank in it. But we got a lot of work to do, so let's just dive right in. Alright, so we're gonna start bleeding them. I'm gonna throw JD in the cab, pump them up, and then I'll tell you to release them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Go down.
Down.
Decent amount of air in it. Down hard.
Down.
Alright, I think that one's good.
Down. Up.
Right, rears are done. Down.
Down.
Alright, our brakes are officially done. Whoa, that spring has still got tension on it. It's about to shoot through the floor. Let me just put my hands up here. Oh, that shock's gonna explode. Woo! Got it. You're gonna see me doing this kind of as we move along. I want to make sure that I coat the areas behind any new parts I put on, just so I don't got to go back and do it later. And Sweet Patina sent me some of their blackout rust preventative coating, and you can put this stuff right over a rusty frame like this, or anything actually. Obviously we'll do the top of the frame and stuff when we have the bed off. Looks nice on there at least. You'd never know that it was kind of rusty, kind of doesn't feel very good. I like things that just cover up problems. That is snug. Good enough for now. Let's go ahead and put our new shock in there, and I'll make a hell of a mess out of myself. Alright, next thing we're going to try to tackle is this drag link that's completely wasted. Look at that. That shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, it's coming right off now. I'm just going to match these drag link components to the old drag link. That makes it longer. Probably close enough for us to drive it around before I get a front end alignment. The torque spec on this is all of it. 150 pounds. There we go. There's one of those. And yeah, you can see that, you know, that's not great. Okay, well, our front end's done. So now I have this fuel tank from LMC Truck. And let's remove the 2 fuel tanks out of this truck. And I'm just going to put one back in it just for simplicity's sake. Yep, there's one of those. Yeah, I'm going to say that sending unit doesn't look very promising. I managed to break that off. I mean, this bracket needs to come out, but does it really? Yeah, it probably does. Come on out of there, damn it. Hey, it doesn't look too bad, actually. Looks fine. There she goes. That is installed and ready to rock and roll. Woo! It up. I know you can't really see nothing, but take my word for it, it looks beautiful. Well, I guess I'll probably go ahead and use that sweet patina stuff on these brackets. Go ahead and fill this transfer case. Still waiting on this stuff to dry. It's just about there, but not quite. Well, this seems to work fairly well, I guess. Install the straps, and how I'm going to do that, I actually don't have a pop rivet gun, and I definitely don't have any 5/16 pop rivets. I'm just going to use these crappy little cap screws here, because they got a round head on them, and probably won't dig into the tank. You know, if I just get these bolted up here, and I don't know, at least that's done, you know. I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to be efficient. If you would just cooperate, that would be wonderful. Times you just got to persuade them a little bit. You know, that's just the way she rolls sometimes. I reckon what you got to do here is assemble this on the ground. So we'll see how the hell we go about that. Let's get this. Get out of my way, hose. Put the nut on the other side. And precariously balance this, you know, like this. We gotta summon our inner Suzanne Summers and Isaac Newton here, okay? We got physics and yoga. I got hoses in there, so we're all hooked up. You ready to put some gas in? See anything under the truck?
Nope.
Okay. We have the meats. A heavy tire. I will now re-secure the door for safety.
Yeah, this is about the best door latch. Almost better than the Holy Ghost.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna go for a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fall through. I won't. I don't even have anything to put my foot on. Oh my God. Hey, brakes are good. Look at the road. Oh, this is so stupid.
What?
My key fell out.
Well, it just died. Mm-hmm. Should I just try to start it back up?
This is trying to start it.
It's fine.
Yeah. Now, do we go to the gas station or?
We should probably go home.
Okay,
let's
let's
go.
go home.
We don't have any headlights. I mean, we could probably make it there and back. Let's try it.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
halfway there. When my foot is on the gas,
Yeah.
the floor is moving and the gas pedal stays still.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It's just unhooked. Headlight. Smells like barbecue under here.
Whew.
Smells good.
Did you leave like bacon or something under here?
I should have.
Yeah.
Okay, well that didn't work at
Yeah.
all. So let's go ahead and get home.
Yeah, immediately.
God, I'm smart.
Yeah.
You know how smart I am?
Yeah, we're like geniuses.
Total genius levels.
I got a pair of mufflers to throw on the truck, and I'd like to give it a shot, see if I can do it. Throw some mufflers on it, because clearly that's where my priorities should be. These are the cheapest muffler you can buy, period. They were $28 a piece on Amazon. So I'm kind of curious to know, what do they sound like?
There.
Bring me a total flow. I just put it on wrong. Really close to, I guess that one's really close to the drive shaft too, though. Nope, we got one total flow installed. This one came off the opposite of the other one. Easy. Piece of cake. Let's see what it sounds like. At least it has mufflers on it now. This truck's tough to start one-handed, but I'll give it my best shot here. Damn it.
This baby's got a cam. It sounds great. Like $60 will buy you those mufflers. It's not bad, guys.
Rip off all the front sheet metal. After we get the sheet metal off, I'm going to tackle these floors, or lack thereof. The reason I'm going to pull the front sheet metal off first is because that's going to allow me to access the cab mounts and stuff like that a little bit easier without this fender in the way. Let's not waste any time and get started. I hate doing this by myself. At least I don't gotta worry about like hurting anything. Timber! Aha! Yeah, this one. Well, I was about to say it's pretty good. I don't think the core support needs changed. It doesn't look bad. These inside the fender well bolts are always the worst ones. Never come out easy. Sayonara! You know, whenever you got a vehicle that actually starts to look better as you rip parts off of it, you know you got a good one. Is that it? Pretty close. This is gonna fall on my leg, isn't it? That's the price you pay for owning a beauty like this. You know, the entry price is low. The medical bills are high. Time to return you to the great steel mill in the sky. We gotta get this cab straight. And if we don't, well, we're gonna be in for a hard time. I mean, a lot of that is actually the door pin and the hinge, but it's also the cab flexing and falling apart. There's no way to fix this correctly. The only way to fix this correctly is to throw this truck cab away and put a new one on, right? We're gonna butcher the ever-loving hell out of this. And it's still gonna be a lot better than it was. This kick panel is missing from about here down, right? So what we're gonna do is not replace the whole kick panel. I'm gonna put the new kick panel in to where the seam is hidden underneath this plastic cover here, right? So basically I'm gonna try to line this up in here, then I'll cut this down and just set this up in here. We'll shoot a couple screws in it. I will tack weld everything in, but we're gonna self-tap screw everything in so we know where we want it. Because there's gonna be a lot of adjustments, because look at that door, right? The gap here, closed. I can literally fit my hand in it around here. Not too bad on the front, but also look here. So we need to jack the whole door up, which is not moving the door, mind you. It's moving the damn truck and tweaking it back into shape. Then we're gonna have to put a bottle jack or a porta power here and push this, I can move it with my hand. I know it'll move. So we're going to move that forward about half an inch or so after we pull it back up. But that's why we got to start with the actual cab support here. Let's see, I think we put the kick panel in, then we put this in, right? There's your cab support. It goes in somewhere in that neighborhood. And we'll just screw everything together, and then I'll get in there and burn it all solid, and it'll be ugly, and that's fine because we won't see any of it. We also have to put in the inner rocker. So yeah, it goes something like that. I don't know exactly what. We'll cross that river when we get there. So we're just gonna do a little exploratory surgery here. We'll cut all the rust out, so the rust isn't gonna spread because it won't be there. Frame looks great.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I think that's a pretty good start. You can see we've kind of just trimmed all the rust out of it. It's not perfect. It's okay. It's lasted this long. It'll last quite a while more. Getting every dime's worth out of these things. So I'm going to cut out the outer part of this rocker because you can see underneath this is what's left of the inner rocker. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep.
Screw it right on?
Yeah. And then once we're done, then we weld it on.
Right, yeah, we don't weld anything right away.
That should be perfect.
That's a lot better. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot a self-tapper into it. Well, or a few. There's more truck here than there was just a few seconds ago. See. Now we can access that. Now I can cut the nut off of it. I don't know if I'm actually doing anything or if I'm just bending everything.
I don't know. I think you're just bending
I
everything.
think you're right.
Oh,
God. Get out of it. We're going to put a jack right here.
Yep.
Lift this up. Get this squared back up. Oh, yeah, there it goes. We're going to reattach this using that Mustang underhood brace there. Yeah, then we're going to hope for the best. No, it's not working at all. It's a no fit. And I can see that this whole thing is just caved in. And what I'm going to try to do is porta power. Well, it's moving it all right, isn't it?
yeah. A lot.
That's
That's gonna
lot
work.
better.
We could just keep that on there and
Forever.
do it. Yeah.
That has spread the cab out better than anything. And now the door gap is actually pretty good. It even closed it up down here. All right, well, I'm going to try to tack this stuff in. Yep, something's on fire. You can see how beautiful that looks. Please insert Ray Charles joke here. Yeah, I'm too scared to weld along this because I'm afraid of, blowing myself up. The rest of this, I dare say, is reasonably solid. See that now when I move this, it actually moves the whole truck instead of just that A-pillar. I think we did something right here. Well, it's a good thing I painted all this so it's impossible to work around. Looks like it needs to bend up a little bit. Maybe this will work. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's right on the money. Now that we've got some kind of support in the cab now, I feel all right pulling the door off. I might be here a while. Last call for Squarebody door. Time to leave the station. Oh, still pretty heavy. We're pretty much just going to cut off this whole leading edge. Then we'll refit it and just keep nibbling away at it until we get this to fit halfway decent. If the metal's solid, you overlap it, put a little skin coat of mud on it, it will last forever. Had to throw a little extra metal in here. That's really pretty, Anyway, I think I figured out what I need to trim off of this because it fits about as well as we need. So we got to shorten it kind of overall and take this inside lip off. Little test fitting here. Got the rocker kind of where I want it. Not quite where I want it back here. That's going to take a little beating, but you can see that we got a little gap. This floor pan's a little fat right here, so we need to trim. Just notch that out, probably because I overlapped the kick panel. We will have to trim some of this. And then the actual cab brace is holding it up in the middle. I've got it self-tapped into place here. I know this is not gonna end well because the damn thing's like 2 inches out of whack. Let's see what happens if I just go to town on it real quick. Okay. Gonna need a lot of liquid nails for seam sealer. Far from ideal, but it's as good as we can do. You can see right there that dent popping up. I mean, that's the cab brace. So short of cutting apart the entire cab, taking it off of the frame and starting from scratch, this is what we have. Time to start burning, I guess. Okay, well, that is a pitiful excuse for welding in a floor pan, but it is in there and it is solid as a damn brick now, which is great because that was really the biggest issue with this truck. Now it's onto the rocker, which actually fits pretty damn good. On the outside here, you can see that our hole lines up for the door stopper. Now we'll just coat it with some Rust-Oleum here. It's not perfect. It's not even good, considering it's flux core welder. But I am pretty damn proud of that. Inside, we will have to cut the cab corner out, so that's going to be an added, challenge there. If we can get this side to pull off, then we can flex it, and we'll be able to see where the spot welds are at the top a lot easier. One kick panel, we'll call that our kick panel. So I'll put a couple self-tappers in there just to hold it for now. Okay, just to clarify, I'm not insane. This is the bolt that's provided with it. This is the cab mount. It no work. It no thread. Like, it's not even the right diameter. I figured out what it is. Apparently this Ford motor mount bolt I found is the exact thread for it. This fits way better than the other side did. I don't think we'll have the same issues. We're way high on the kick panel here. I'm gonna have to pinch that shut and burn that. We welded her up. We got her all spray painted, so it's, wow, conqueror's restoration. How about that? But you know what? It's a damn sight better than it was. The truck's nice and sturdy again. We still got to put the outer rocker in. That's really going to stiffen up, this, because there's nothing in here. Had a hell of a time getting anything to stick to that seat bottom, so that's going to get the more stuff I remove off of this truck, the better it gets. Ew, rusty son of a bitch. Come on. Take a look at this. Oh my God. Rust free. Free rust. Alright, so that new cab corner goes clean up into here. We don't need this whole, we don't need the whole deal, Oh my God. What a piece of crap. You might notice the inner cab corner has some issues, and the key word there is inner, which means you can't see it, which means I'm not fixing it. Well, Buff from Buff's Garage. What do you think?
I think it looks really good.
I think it has a floor. How did the seatbelt catch on fire? Was it that screw I cut? Oh!
Yeah, right there.
Oh! It smells like a burning body in here now. Not that I would know. Most of this floor self-tapped into place. Now I'm going to make a few relief cuts here to try to close this gap over here. Try to lean that metal over to where I can burn it onto something. Anything would be fine. The rest of it is not bad. It's ugly as sin. It's booger welded as hell. But it's in there and it's solid. It's a brick, boys. Tack this back together. That's good enough. It's more than the factory did. Well, I threw the doghouse back on there. We'll bolt that in while we're here. I want to grind down this rocker and take some short strand fiberglass and mold this in, including here, because this shows. And the rest of this stuff will be covered up by sound deadener. We don't got to be perfect here, but we got to rough it up enough that this glass will stick. It's short strand fiberglass. This stuff is waterproof. It's meant to stick to bare metal. They build entire cars out of the stuff. It works pretty damn good for decades. That's all just kind of lightly glassed in. Just enough. We'll grind that down. Then a skin coat of body filler. To make this cab corner fit properly, I'm going to have to cut the inside edge of this rocker out all the way down. And that's because I'm not doing it right. So we'll just cut this right here, and then we'll test fit again. So I got this pretty much where I want it. So option A, cut this, butt weld it. Or option B is beat the hell out of this, ding it all in. Now, I can tack weld to it, and then when we fill it, it'll be right on the money. That's hideous, but it is what it is, and it is attached, and it's solid. We'll grind it down. I'll finish that out. And if I hadn't made a video on it, you would never know. You guys know I don't normally do this, so I'm going to do a little integration for a good buddy of mine, Buzz, at roadkillcustoms.com. He's just gone into making custom shifter knobs at roadkill.store. Go there, and you can get a custom-made resin shifter knob. I mean, look at that. He made this for Jess, for the King Cobra Mustang, and well, I actually told him the wrong thread on it, so I'm going to have to get an adapter to put it on. Save 15% off your entire order with code PBG15, and just a good buddy of mine. I ain't getting no money from it, although I did get a shifter knob. Let's get back to it. Put some glass on the seams here. Here it out here, put a little hardener in it, and we'll just kind of goop it on there and grind it down later and, you know, forget about it. Slurp, slurp. It's starting to look like something. I have to mix up some more, but I'll get this knocked out right quick. Alright, there we go. That's looking a lot better. Now it's on to seam sealing with this stuff. Splooge this stuff haphazardly all around. You can see it actually looks like seam sealer. You know why? Because, well, it's, you know, probably the same thing. This will be extremely effective at covering up my terrible weld jobs. The fiberglass filler here is your secret to being able to use body filler effectively. Without this, body filler will crack and fall off and do all the things that, you know, everybody says, oh, it's got Bondo in it. Okay, yeah, no. You put down a layer of short strand fiberglass and then adhere the body filler to it, it's going to hold up for a long, long time. Alright, now it's time to put some filler over this. Always spread in the same direction, whatever direction that is. And yes, you put it on a little thick. It doesn't, it's a Bondo bucket. No, it's not, alright? It's, you sand it off. 90% of the stuff you put on here, you sand back off. It's going to try to blend that glass in. This being the inside of the truck does not need to be perfect. So we're going to use this stuff from Sweet Patina, Blackout Rust Preventative Coating. Can you put it on filler? Get her brushed on here with the old Dollar Tree paintbrush. It's going to look incredibly nice and then get immediately covered up. It does not stick to liquid nails. That's what I'm here for, is to answer the hard questions. It does cover filler relatively well. I did learn that. And there we go. That looks very nice, actually. Let's get some sound deadener in here. And what I've chosen for this was the cheapest thing I could find on Amazon. Kind of like if you lay tile in a house or something. I always start in the middle and then work my way out. You roll out these little divots here until they're smooth. That's how you know it's adhered. Roll, roll, rolling, 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 rolling. Well, I'll continue doing my best Fred Durst impression here. You guys just hang on. This is going to look really nice here in a minute. You'd never know this thing is actually a complete pile of garbage. This is looking fantastic. We have to go on a fishing expedition for the transfer case shifter. Our floor is now done. Like, actually done. I'm gonna go ahead and completely refurbish this steering column. Oh, I'm just gonna hit this with a little 180. Rebuilding. I think we're ready to pop the column out of here. Time to go. You've been a good column. We'll keep you around. Bitch. Use your belly. Welcome to the audience participation portion of the program, where you help me guide this onto the steering box. Woo. Good work, guys. Thank you. Try to put this door on because it's the only door I have. Open. Nope. Before I get the hammer out, I guess we'll see if we can adjust the
I was
door
just
up.
about to say, do it.
Houston, we have a problem. Door, no fit. Old door fit, but old door was missing most of it from about here down. So the only reasonable thing to do is beat the hell out of it. I will now gently massage the bottom of the door as well. Hey, that's a lot better. Just barely rubbing on it now. The body line's not great, but I think I can fix that. Cut out and changed out that door striker. It seems like it works. There. I mean, that's not bad. The next thing I want to do is change out the hinge pins. Now we can go ahead and tap in our new bushings. Put our new pin in. Maybe just a little more.
Up.
Yeah. Try to get one at the bottom if you can. I mean, at least is there, you know. Way tight in the front. And it's high in the back of the top here. But rub it right here. And let's rub it right here.
A lot better.
That's pretty good,
Yeah,
actually. Anything becomes a dolly when you're lazy enough. That's a lot better. Well, that is, in fact, a door. I'm not going to do anything more with it until we put fenders on it. But I'm not going to put fenders on it until we clean up this engine bay, replace those valve cover gaskets. Well, you can clean this up, core support up. And the beauty of this channel is we have no expectations, right? We've seen before that tractor paint actually works very well on high heat surfaces. So rather than pay $12 a can for engine enamel, $10 for a quart. I found these valve covers under my workbench of doom here. So we're going to clean those up and slap them on there just to dress her up a bit. Look at that brand new motor. We'll throw our cheese ball valve covers on there and that'll be done. This looks great. All of it inside and out. Let's see how she looks inside. Well, that looks remarkably clean in there. Yeah, they look decent on there actually. You can't even tell how stupid they are. But at least when you pop the hood now, it'll, I don't know, looks like something, right?
Yeah.
Try to throw some core support bushings in. Ah! Oh. Oh! I needed a refreshment. Thank you. Well, you know, it's probably might have been time for some new ones. I'll drive that sucker in there sideways. You know I'll do it. Put the screwdriver in there and use that to align it. It actually seems to work. It's a little sideways. That's okay. Perfection. It's, yeah, or something. Maybe if I tighten down this bolt, it'll line up the other one. Follow me for more good jokes. We're ready to go ahead and stick fenders on this bad boy. Anytime you have a new piece of sheet metal like these fenders, they are razor sharp on the edges. So therefore you should always wear hand protection gloves. So anyway, let's just go ahead and put them on. These are LMC's premium line of fenders. Hang it up here and try to get it to slip over that inner fender. Well, it's only like 5 inches off. Oh, hell. Away. I can work with that. I mean, that's a usable gap there. I could adjust the door a little bit, get a 1/4 inch here, pull the fender back a little bit. We pick it up. It actually overlaps the A-pillar now. Holy cow, man. I hung this side on just to eyeball it. And it fits fine. It doesn't have these same issues. I mean, I don't know if it fits fine, but it definitely fits better than that one. I have a lug nut under here to shim up the top of the fender, and that seems to be about right, you know. Yeah, it's a standard procedure. A nice cut, if I do say so myself. I'll let that sit in there a little further. No, or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, that takes care of that. It's got a little bit right here that's touching. I'm going to try to put the fender in place. We're just nibbling at the problem, right? We're trying to remedy this as best as we can. You know, if this truck was in better shape, this might fit better, but you're still going to have to do a lot of this stuff. You know, standard procedure, just turn it literally into an egg. We'll now proceed to jam every single body shim I could find under this. I'm just cleaning up these hinges on my workbench here. Get them ready for paint, you know, nice and prepped. Just after a little time with the wire wheel, they clean up all right. It's not perfect. Let me go get some brake clean and we'll finish the job. Let's go ahead and give these a bath. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and tractor paint these. Clean up the hood braces, well, the hood savers that were on the truck when we got it. And, I mean, I see no reason not to put it back on. Might as well save the money and not buy new, right? Before we bolt this thing on here, I'm going to put the hood savers on that we salvaged off the old hood. We're just going to attach them with some self-tappers. I'm solo at the moment, so I guess the only thing to do is to try to gorilla this thing on there by myself. That's still the roof. Yep. Well, gonna have to fix those dings later. Gonna have to fix that too. Yep. Oh yeah, no, it's really bad. Well, I mean, it's got like a 6-inch gap over here. Dad's over here trying to help me get this hood to function. It's got some really good gaps on it. They're only like an inch or two. Still too tight here. We'd shim that out.
Suppose I pulled the finger out just a hair.
So Dad went to the hardware store and got this edging or whatever, and he's put it,
aluminum.
yeah, aluminum, so you know it won't rust.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just got to fill in the gaps a little bit. You know, no big deal. But what we'll do is let this sit in here, and then this is going to give a nice little layer. Just put a skin coat of filler over it. You'll never know. You won't even know by looking on the inside, honestly. Grind that a little
Here a
bit.
bit, just to get it where it's the same gap.
Yeah.
Front lip right here needs trimmed.
This is the only original piece of the truck. It actually fits. I mean, it's a little high here, but it'll suck down. This side's perfect. Get a bolt in there to hang it on, but that does kind of prove that it's really the fenders that are sort of the problem here. Attach this inner fender the only way I know how, with self-tappers. Now, I really wanted to use them on the other side, but unfortunately all the bolts lined up, so thankfully I'll get to make up for it here. We just go ahead and remove the bed. Surely it's not held on that well. It's like opening the Ark of the Covenant. Of course, it's very sturdy. You! Yeah, things are going really well, guys. Goodbye. Time to go. Let's go. There. Ah. I think it's loose. I don't really know. Yeah.
If only you had another set of hands.
There, you got it.
It's off. Good job.
What do we do now? I got it.
pushing, but it's got on something.
You got it? All right, flopping. Oh God! Flop! Nice flop. Let me just go ahead and restore the frame out here. How's restoring the frame going there?
Tasty.
You wear a mask! How's this frame not rotted with all that crap packed into it? I mean, that's salt. On account, it's Chevy. Finally, I figured out what this is for. Removing bolts. It hurts incredibly bad to hit that.
Hey, I got it further than you did.
You didn't do anything.
I don't think it's ever.
It hasn't moved at all. Well, this was a good idea. Yep, broke it right off. That's all right. We'll take that. Oh, snapped it right off. What else is holding you on, huh? Kick? Oh, there it goes. I've got my tractor paint armed and ready, and my Dollar Tree paintbrush all set to go. Looks like brand new, you know, new springs, new shackle mounts, new shackles. new frame, new cross member. Dad came by earlier and went ahead and glassed in these. And as you can tell, well, you're never going to be able to tell. I'm going to start sanding on this. Don't worry, guys. I got my PPE on. Thing is, you don't just fill the spot that's low. You gotta go past it and be able to feather it in. Jesus! Good stuff. Regulate how much filler you're applying by the amount of pressure you put on the spreader. I'm just going up to the body line over here, and I'm gonna cover this whole cab corner. I'll just do this, and then I can cut that gap back out. Maybe I can run it along the top. Oh yeah, there we go. So sometimes you're going to need something a little, more. When those cases rise, you can either go with an 8-inch DA that has more surface area, or this board file here. This is very similar to like a blocking board, except better in every single way and faster. Probably the most difficult thing to learn when you're doing bodywork. Know when to not go any further. See right here, we got some bare metal showing. Obviously, I can't show you how it feels. There's a lot of old bodywork in this B-pillar. And it's wavy, but you've got to remember, this is not the end result. Now, probably 3 or 4 coats of primer and block sanding is your end result. And that's where you do your real bodywork. I put you down there for a reason, to explain something. The roof of this thing really needs stripped and it's pretty beat up. But I'm not going to do anything about it because, can you see it? No. Okay, that answers the question. The top edge of this door fits really tight. So we're just going to make our own edge. We'll just take a little off the top, Ow. Oh yeah. Much better. Try to get this door stripped. Just use this 40 grit on a DA. You don't want to use a grinder. Don't put a bunch of cuts in the metal that don't need to be there. Well, we got us a pretty naked door here. That's going to help us beat a couple of these dents out. Don't He-Man the thing. Just get it, just nice light taps. So I have the dolly here. And if I'm going to hit here, I'm actually using the dolly to force things around. Try to get some of these dents here. It's got 100 door dings and stuff in it that we're just not going to be able to get right now while it's in bare metal. Looks like a lot of mud, but it really isn't. Alright, so we'll be board filing and knocking that down flat once it cures. Getting in these mirror holes here. Gone. So we're going to put the sport mirrors on this thing. Real quick here, we're going to knock down the EDP coating that's on these new sheet metal parts. Use 180 because we don't want to scratch up the metal. There's no point. However, it is important to stay flat, perpendicular. And we're going to do that so we can find low spots because there's going to be some. Got all that glass ground down and mudded in. It's going to look pretty good. I think a simple board file sanding, we can get that knocked out. Haven't got to this fender yet, but I did about half the hood. It's surprisingly straight. There's a couple dings. And this fender is actually very nice too. There's almost nothing in it. I mean, there's a couple ripples right here. Nothing I don't think a good heavy coat of primer won't take care of. Got a little spot putty back here on just a few little things. No big deal. Can't reach it. Still got a dent here in this filler panel here. Well, I'm gonna work on it some more with the hammer and dolly. So I'm gonna work on it in the dark here where I can't see what I'm doing because, well, if you're a good body man, you don't need light. We'll pour this very exact amount of reducer in. Yep, that's it. Primer is really easy to get along with. It's a great thing to start off learning how to spray things out of a spray gun. Well, it's obviously not done, and I am out of this primer. So I'm gonna do what you're absolutely not supposed to do. I'm gonna change brands in the middle of a job. This is ready to block sand now, and this is where you do your body work, is here in the primer. You know, you get your base set, then you build it with the primer. Every bug in the whole county came by to visit. Hey, George. So we're going to take our spray paint, and we're going to zebra stripe this thing. And the technical term for this, I suppose, is called a guide coat. And the thing is, you don't need to coat the whole thing, but you got to get that black on here so that you can see the low spots in the primer. Block sanding, the black will be left behind, and the primer will be removed. Block. And then you block some more. You prime some more, then you block some more, then you block some more, and then you prime some more, and then you block some more, and prime and block and block and prime and block and prime, and then theoretically you have a good truck. Not bad, actually. That came out pretty decent. You pull fantastic glaze. It's okay. It's kind of a cheap version. Basically, it's a super, super, super fine fart body filler. I'm gonna have to go get some more. The side of this door is so foobar, we're gonna have to do a show car special on her and just skin the whole damn thing. I'm literally gonna coat this thing top to bottom in glaze putty. The smoother you put this stuff on, the better off you're gonna be. That's a lot of icing, but it's actually very thin. In fact, you can see through it in places. This is just like a very thick coat of primer. In fact, they make this stuff in a sprayable form, and maybe that's what I should have gone with. At least 2, maybe 3 more coats of primer to lay down on this. So we don't got to get it all right here, but I got to get it a little bit closer than last time. Oh, the skill. I'm just going to go hit all my body work, then I'll probably hit the roof once. Then I'm just going to keep coating this thing down, like get another 3 or 4 coats of primer on. I'm just going to knock down some of the spot putty, and we're going to put 1 more coat of primer on it, and then this will be ready for paint. You know what? At some point you just say, it's fine. We're going to be hitting it with 320 and Scotch-Brites instead of 180, so there's not going to be a lot of material removal in the next step. Alright, back out here today, ready for the final sand. Low spot came out pretty good here. The thing about the Scotch-Brite is it's fibrous, so it kind of gets in there, it gets into the little pits and stuff that's remaining in the paint, or the primer. Make sure everything is evenly scuffed. It smells like a laundromat in here.
Yeah, it does.
It's nice. Do not even come close to touching the vehicle, but skillfully and expertly, I just touched it, skillfully and expertly wipe it down with the glue, and it's actually very clean. Anyway, this is base clear. Looks like you mix your 2 parts color to 1 part reducer. It's an eBay paint kit. They're like $300 to $400 depending on which one. I've used this Kim before, whatever the hell it is, and it works pretty good. It's not the best, but it is cheap. We'll start on the roof, the upper surfaces first. Let's get started.
give it another 5 minutes. Give it a good time for that solvent to pop out of the paint. You know, no reason to rush. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Whew. Right in here. Now we have to let this flash. Flashing is the solvent evaporating out of the paint. Once it flashes off, it'll be dry to the touch. We'll be ready for clear.
We're gonna mix up some clear.
Looks pretty good. There's a lot of dirt in it. I mean, it's a bar. Oh, and I got huge rubs in the side of it. Shit. We're going to bury that in clear coat, then we'll wet sand it.
I'm coming out here for one more coat. Well, we got it outside. It's the next day, and the paint's nice and dry. You get it out here, you can really tell. You know, you got to have the sunlight to be able to see it, and it looks good. There's no Silver Dollar Chevy here, but there is a Stepside bed. We've got a whole bunch of parts here that we've got to get ready for paint. That means sanding, bodywork, assembling. These things are nearly impossible to sand. There's so many nooks and crannies and stuff. This driver's side fender, which is obviously in pretty poor condition. Let's try to get this thing roughed in as best as we can. This was all mud. There's one dent in it. I mean, that's a pretty easy fix. I try to push that glass down in the groove as much as I can, just so there's no air pocket underneath it. You'll get it in there. You'll know. Just like playing with Play-Doh, you know. I'm busy, and I'm carefully sculpting this fender into a fender. Actually turned out much better than I thought it was going to. A little rough right here. Everything else is not bad. You see that? Yeah. See how it's not there? Well, we're gonna have to do something about that. Not bad. I think it still needs a little taken off of it, though. That's all it needed right there. I might even give her a little bit on the backside. I think I will, since I have it here. My genius amazes myself yet again. Thankfully, I'm so humble that nobody really notices. What I did is I just screwed these to the sawhorses with one screw. You know, that'll hold it.
I'm going to prime the hell out of this fender because it's really bad. You don't get this kind of professionalism just anywhere, if I can tell you that.
Literally scraping the bottom of the barrel. Let's go ahead and get us a guide coat laid down so we have something to block. Well, where the bulk of the damage was in this fender actually turned out pretty nice. Last stop on the sand every goddamn thing in this place train. The numbers matching front bed panel. So I'm just going to sand this real quick. Then I'm going to get to cleaning this place out. We're going to be ready to spray some paint tomorrow, guys. So we're going to let that dry off and we'll come back with some clear coat in about 30 minutes.
Story of my life. Wasn't supposed to rain at all today. And yeah, of course.
Well, we made out okay. Everything looks alright, minus we had some water on this fender. It's really no big deal. The good thing is this base coat flashes so quickly Actually didn't really do anything to it. What they say about Midwestern weather, if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. Oh, God. Oh. One coat down, and boy, everything looks really straight. We've got one more key component that we got to finish before we can put that thing together. What we have here is a genuine oak hardwood bed floor kit. I'm just going to keep it the light oak color. I'm not interested in trying to stain that or anything. Give it a little bit of gloss, make that grain stand out. But you didn't know you were getting a home improvement episode today. I'm full of surprises, what can I say? This is going to be a lot like putting a puzzle together without the box or any instructions, and all the pieces are the same. I guess that you put the middle together first. It looks like the strips space out the planks. I can't help but think that I might have chosen the most difficult way to assemble this back. We don't do these things because they're easy, but because they are hard, or whatever. I think it's time to install the numbers matching front bed panel. Ooh, yes. Yeah, this is going really good.
Oh, got it. It's fat.
Just gonna drop right in.
No, this front corner is bent in.
Oh.
I need to bend it out, and I can squeeze it past this.
Well, this one's pretty good, and this one could work, and that one's pretty good. This one is nowhere near it. Those front two look great. That one, not really. Oh, yes, yes. So the front bed panel's attached with a couple of fender bolts on each side, and then bolted nutted. And we can get those in easy enough.
Yeah, that went right in.
It's sitting in there pretty flat now.
It's better than I thought.
Yeah, it actually lines up nice. But out there,
That one's okay. That one is not even remotely close.
No, this one's
That one's okay. This is just a solid piece of wood. That's just a solid piece of wood.
Well, we never drilled those.
Well, then perfect.
Yeah.
See, we thought ahead. This number with a little bit of that,
We'll drill.
and then jam it bolt in, and it'll be all right.
Wait, right?
Pretty much. All right.
Oh yeah, it's got to go to the passage.
My way. Ooh. Oh, right
Yep,
right
right
there's
there.
perfect.
Nailed it. We're gonna put fenders on. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, you're good. Pivot.
Hello, fender. How are you? I mean, I really like making sweet love to this fender. If you can hurry
lift it up
up.
a little bit. Okay, all right. And then moving around a little bit.
Sure. What do you need?
Up.
You know, it almost fits. It's a real fender right there. I love this fender number 2. Well, I think it goes without saying that that looks absolutely fantastic. I rinsed off the dust with a hose. It's the only reason it's wet. That paint is cured enough. It won't hurt it. Little trunnions, and they install in the ends of the tailgate. So let's attempt to put this on here without destroying it. Oh boy. Alright, got one started. It's on there just like it was from the factory. Poorly. What I got here is a bumper, and obviously this truck didn't have a bumper or bumper brackets because it had a plow mounted on the front. I picked this up used for like 50 bucks from a buddy of mine. I think he threw in the brackets. I'm just gonna have to try to get this to where we want it, and I kind of like it right here. I kind of just made my own slotted hole with a burr bit. Yeah, you know, it works pretty good actually. The bolt kind of is able to move around in there. That should work and give us a little more adjustability to slide it in and out. Okay, well that kind of worked, but we need the support here, otherwise it's going to keep flopping in. And I can get that if I turn this upside down, but that actually made the bumper too low, so I'm going to notch this hole up so that we get a little more up adjustment out of it. Ah, beautiful. That's as good as it gets. I've been out here for 2 hours trying to get this goddamn thing to fit in the bed. It's not that bad. I can live with it. It's pushed out a little bit over there. Maybe we go bump a tree with it or something. I got a feeling this is as good as it gets, and it's got all the bolts in it. I don't think we can have both. Time to paint some door jambs. It's not like we did anything beforehand that maybe we shouldn't have. Go ahead and get them prepped, you know.
Okay.
Now, anything that shows. So it's going to be up in here.
Alright.
Doesn't have to be great, just kind of hit it with a Scotch-Brite. See, I'm masking this off really well. I'm actually doing this on purpose because I'm too scared to put tape on it. And the reason we're doing this before we polish the car is if I do get some overspray on there, it'll come right off. In the polishing and wet sanding process, of course, just got to cover up all that primer. And voila. I've done this an awful lot on cars. And most of 99% of the time, nobody can tell. Because your paint in here obviously doesn't need to be UV resistant. It's, well, inside. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so you open the door, you get in your truck, pretend there's a door panel there, and, you know, you'll never know. And that's good enough for me. It's time to jump into wet sand. You're going to need polishing compound. You're going to need fine grit sandpaper. We have an assortment here of you could even use 6-inch wet sanding paper on a DA. There is a run here. Pretty good one too. It goes all the way back. So we need to fix that. Without digging into anything, I just want to take just the head off of that run. We can get it all with sandpaper if we have to, but it should speed up the process. And I know I put enough clear on this for it to be able to take this. There, now you can start to see the run. We took off just the heads. We don't need to get it all right now. Got a little water container here, squirt bottle. I'm going to start off with 1,000 grit. I may have to go more aggressive, but I'm probably going to go 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 on the truck. Don't worry about being perfect here. The key here is just to have short strokes. Let's polish this fender. Then that's going to tell me if I'm going far enough or if I need to go further to get a really good shine out of this. We don't want to go too far, burn through the clear coat, and then destroy the paint job. So it's a fine line there. You know, you can always take more off. You can't put, well, you can put it back on, but it's a pain in the ass. Still see a few. I can live with a few. So that's quite a bit better. Let's hit it with some medium cut cleaner. Maybe don't pick the most obvious panel on the whole truck to say, let's test on that one. Pretty good looking fender there. Actually, you may not be able to see on camera at all, possibly, because everything looks good on camera. But take it from me that the top half of this fender looks pretty good. Now we just have to do the entire truck. That's pretty good. You can see the camera and me. You compare that to this fender. Granted, it's a little dirty, but even on camera, you can tell the difference. That is enough of that. The hood real light, you know, it didn't really need much. Hit a couple spots of dirt, just want to knock the heads off them. I mean, we're not shooting for perfection here. Wandering Buff has arrived on his way to Iowa for some reason. Have you ever polished a car before?
Figure something out.
Okay. Yeah, well that's good because my shoulders are killing me after wet sanding this set last night. I can certainly screw this up. So try to stay off of the body lines. Yep. So we're going to try some different pads. We're having some problems. I don't know if it's those cheap Chinese pads, the little dog tracks all over the place. It's not under the paint. It's something we're doing to it. So I bought 2 good foam pads just now. Well, I don't know what else to do, but I'm gonna have to wet sand again. Okay, guys, it's been 24 hours. I've been polishing my ass off. I didn't even want to film. I just wanted to focus on getting this thing right. I had to re-wet sand that door and the hood and some of the back fender with 1500 to get all those puppy tracks out. I still didn't get them all, but it's much better than it was. I mean, you can see a little bit of like light scratching in there maybe. I think I'd like to go ahead and stick the rear bumper on it. So I have my gazillion-dollar rear bumper here. Buy new brackets for it because I couldn't find any for a Stepside. So I picked those up from LMC. I bought it out of my own pocket. No sponsorship stuff. I kind of feel like they're labeled wrong. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. There's about 50 holes in the frame drilled here. I think at least one of them is probably factory. It sure seems like this one that's labeled left hand fits the right hand side. That looks, you know, more or less correct, right? This is the driver's side of the truck. Right there. Right hand. Huh. Isn't that f***ing weird? And what I'm going to have to do is shim the bracket out to make it fit. It's not just the sticker. The brackets are different side to side. See how the bumper's hanging low right now? I'm gonna have to shim it so it'll sit up. I mean, I'm gonna have to rig it. I didn't want to rig it. That's why I spent $130 on brackets. If I wanted to rig it, I just made some. Last bolt here, they all went in completely sideways. The fitment is just mwah. Well, I'll take that. Literally, the passenger side brackets are over there, and the driver's side brackets are over here. But if you do that and put all the bolts in sideways, that fits great. We were going to put stripes on the truck. There's no way I was going to try to do this by myself. So I brought my dad in, which means he'll probably do it. Tailgate lettering on, which will conveniently distract from that run, I hope.
It's really a shame to put the stripes on. I mean, it'll look cool no matter what because they're factory stripes, so they look correct. But this truck looks beautiful like it is.
Let me go back to my blueprints here.
Why are these wider?
Oh shit. Well, I've never been able to find a picture of the tailgate of one. Cut it out, get it roughly to shape first. I'll go ahead and put my new grill in. Oh, there's a grill. Keep cleaning up the emblems for the fenders. Put in marker lights. Oh, that'll work. That's fixed for everyone. Not bad, is it?
Yeah, no.
There we go. Managed to get them on the hood. Change out the lug nuts and then put some center caps in. I've had these for a while now. I don't know what they're for, but they're brand new center caps and they seem like they'll fit. And today's lug nuts are, of course, provided by lugnutguys.com, my preferred premier choice in lug nuts. These obviously are cut out to go around the hub. But you still get a little more chrome on there and some new lug nuts. Gonna look sharp, guys. Gotta definitely hit her with some more swirl remover, I think. Maybe like a final polish compound kind of deal on an orbital buffer. I think it'll get rid of a lot of it. Can't really see it, but if you look at it from like this angle, there's definitely some swirls in it. Then again, maybe I'm just being kind of picky considering it looks like this. I'm going to show you how you can fix your interior on a relatively low budget if you happen to have a square body Chevy pickup. That's half of the original seat. This is half of the seat out of the farm truck. With those two, we should be able to make one decent seat. I have a new seat cover from LMC. I have some new door panels. They're the wrong door panels, but I found some. Got carpet for the door panels, a new steering wheel, and some dye, and we're gonna make this interior look like new. Also, I have to change the power window regulator in that door to a crank regulator from the original door. Let's start with something incredibly difficult. Putting a brand new rear view mirror on. And it's broken. Aha. Well, job's done. Let's go home. See all this surface rust and stuff in here? We'd just scuff that up and then rattle can it, you know. Same thing goes for the dash pad. Like, it's in pretty good shape, I think. And I was kind of thinking if we just wiped it off with some prep sol and then masked off the window. And then I have some of this, this is actually Ford dark red vinyl dye, but it matches the original red pretty well. I figured we could probably try to re-dye the dash and, you know, save it, try to save some money that way. Wiping off the dash with some prep sol, and that's going to remove any kind of oil or wax, you know, residue crap from people using Armor All and stuff on it over the years. Key here is multiple light coats, so just kind of dust it. The thing is, when you're spraying red, it doesn't matter if it's spray paint, vinyl dye, painting a car, whatever. You spray red, the more layers you put on, the darker it gets. And so obviously we don't want to make it too dark. So we're going to have to use a little prejudice in how we apply this. I had some door seals left over from another project, so just installed that. Trim it to fit, see if the door still closes. We'll do that while we wait for the dash to dry. Wheel the door shut. Hey! Ooh, that one shuts really nice now. Oh, damn. I'm going to wipe down the back of the cab and the dash, the metal part of the dash, with some prep sol. And then we'll go ahead and shaker bomb that. Probably have to mask off the back window, I suppose. It ain't going to be perfect, but the truck ain't perfect, so it's good enough for who it's for. I got my PPE on. Let's go ahead and try to make this look a little bit better. Damn, still smell it through this. I think having that satin as a base is actually pretty good, though.
Yeah, that does look a lot better.
Yeah, much better. We're all done with the painting now. We can start assembling. One thing I did spend some bucks on was a nice steering wheel. I'm kind of picky when it comes to that. I guess, I don't know, where the wheels turn slightly.
No, they're straight.
They're straight.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix this the way I always fix it, by breaking off the horn, because it ain't gonna have a horn anyways. There we go. See, modern problems require modern solutions. If you want your steering wheel to be on straight. Nice. Cool.
Good.
Put this on. Then we put the big nut on it. And there we go. That looks pretty good on there. I have the wrong door panel here. These are for later trucks, and that's because these doors are off of a later truck. Also, the color red, not even close to the dash. You know, for some reason, this kick panel doesn't fit anymore. It's like the floor's in a different spot, but that's not possible, right? You know, we'll just, clearly this kick panel is defective. Okay, I don't know why I thought a pair of scissors would cut this. It's a miracle. It fits now. Why, however did that happen? Anyway, I'll install it with some self-tapping screws. This is probably one of my least favorite jobs, is pulling window regulators, especially power regulators. Well, we'll just pull all the bolts out. Okay, there's one window. Fun fact, in 1982, all GM cars went to a thinner window glass. The glass in that window is like 1/8 of an inch thicker than all later ones because of weight savings. Be gone! No, let go of it. There we go. Alright, those simultaneously trying to line up the other track. Oh, must have got it halfway close. Looks like it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. Numbers matching window. I do have taillights for it. Now you can't buy taillights for these things, but semi-trucks, GM like heavy duty trucks, still use the same taillight that they used back in the 70s, which is the same as the Stepside taillight. Oh, those are on. We'll wire them up, not right now, because I don't feel like doing it. Let's prep the seat for recovering. Turns out this Napa red is pretty close to the correct color instead of that bright red. So let's go ahead and get these door panels sprayed, and then we'll go cover the seat while we wait for that to dry. Now, one good thing about ordering red door panels, at least, is it'll be a lot easier to cover it. I brought these in the house. It's warmer in here. It's like 50 outside, but it's just that's a little bit too chilly. These have been sitting inside, laid out flat, so we get the creases out of them. I may have to go get the heat done yet. You gotta get the front on, and then flip it upside down. Never mind the mouse nest that I left in it. Who am I to evict them? The big thing here is to keep this pipe, you know, that's kind of where like the back of your knee goes. So you want that pipe to be on the front of the seat. Whenever you pull this seat track, it's supposed to pull this seat track, right? Well, the wire's clearly broken. So anyway, I stole this piece of fence from my neighbor's property. Why are there cows in the yard now? Huh.
Oh, free beef.
Anyway. Oh, this is gonna work for sure. We'll go for the furthest one. Aha!
Works.
Nice. Let's bolt the two halves together and put it in the truck. Pain in the ass, isn't it?
I know.
That seat looks good though.
Just got the last bolt in, and it should. It's actually not that bad.
It's pretty comfy in here now anyway. What now?
Glove box?
Door panels.
Yeah.
I need you to re-sand that glove box and fisheye real bad. It does look pretty good. JD's sanding the glove box over there. And maybe I'll go ahead and throw a door panel on. Oh god, that's a very bright red. I bought the wrong color red, but I'm going to go ahead and use it just to use it as a base. Because it's a lot easier to cover red with red. And our repurposed armrests are on. Looking pretty good. Oh boy. Pro grade stuff going on right here, folks. Now we got to put these carpet panels on the doors. I forgot I even had these, but that'll really finish off the doors nice. Hopefully these don't get in the way of our custom-made rocker panels. We don't actually need them, except for the other door has a gigantic hole cut in it. Well, and it kind of needs it. We'll install them just like GM did, with a plethora of self-tapping screws. Well, there's a trailer light harness I had laying around. There's the wires for the taillights of the truck. And let's make some taillights happen. Okay. Alright, we'll turn the headlights on, Jay. Alright. Bad ground, but we got power there. So brown is headlight. Okay. Dark green is brakes. Now getting them wired up. You got driving lights, brake lights work. Be done here shortly. Hey Jay, can you pull the headlights?
Yep.
Still gotta put the lens back on that one, but
They're on.
no, they're not. So I've been out here for like 2 hours trying to figure out how the hell, or why the hell, the lights, I have voltage back there, and then it just goes away as soon as I try to put a load on it, right? Well, I think I found out why. There's like at least 3 pieces of wire spliced in here, and it's all just twisted together in electrical tape. I got some work to do under here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix this wiring. We have lights. So that's nice. Everything works. It's good. It's settled. I got to put a headlight in it, and we need bulbs in these. They're just burned out. One of our marker lights is burned out. JD got the interior nice and clean. I think it looks pretty presentable in here now. We need a headlight. I'm damn sure I'm not paying for one. So I'm gonna rob one out of the white van over here. Surely one of them's good. Need an 1157 out of this too. Aha! Sounds like a beautiful wind chime. JD's cleaning up our cool vintage Chevy floor mats. Those are pretty neat. He's using the super clean to do it. Those look pretty good. Install these. Very hard, very technical. But it is necessary. And with that, we can call this interior completed. Well, it's clearly sometime later, and I did sell the Silver Dollar Chevy in that last clip there. That was to a buddy of mine that I work with. He saw it sitting out at the house here, and his son, who's 14, is looking for his first truck, you know, for a couple of years down the road. Something he can work on and learn some things about old vehicles. So we worked out a deal on it, and he bought it. I wanted to make sure it went to a good home where it's going to get taken care of, and it's going to. Hopefully that truck goes on to inspire another generation of the car hobby, and we can keep this thing going. Hey, if you guys are new here, this is the kind of stuff we do here pretty frequently. Right now I'm working on a 4x4 van right over there. You know, click that subscribe, hit like, and leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. I know it's a longer video, but it's a lot of work to try to fit in, you know. I really appreciate you guys. It was a long ride, and it's on to the next project now. See you guys.